Everyone mentioned today is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, and everything I discuss here is theory until proven fact, even if it is.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life, I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean, and I bring it to the mad light, ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short, so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna sing my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather lead than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
Hey guys, how you going? Deb, how you going? Good to see you. You're first. Out to lunch? How you going? Charlie, how you going? Who else we got? Sherry, how you going? Concheggy Yowie, how you going? Good to see you guys. Who else have we got in here? J1, how you going? Slowburn, how you going? Good to see ya. Okay, there's no screen. Hang on. Okay, we're going to get straight into it. Hey Dealey, how you going? Good to see ya. Okay, we have something about the SNAP program. We have more on the Russia investigation. They're going down. They're going to go down. Just keep watching. There's very interesting news today. I forgot what I actually put in here, but I know there's a lot. So hopefully you've got a cup of tea or a drink. And please hit the like button and share if you think it's worth sharing, and yeah, all that stuff, you know. Okay, Gunther Eagleman said breaking. Speaker Johnson is exposing Democrats for admitting what they're up to during the Schumer shutdown. That's what it's being called. He says that he will not give in to any demands. We're not doing that. All we want is for the Democrats to open the government. Now watch this.
Things like $4 million for global LGBTQI plus awareness campaigns around the world. $4 million for the LGBTQI plus democracy grants in the Balkans. They want $2 million for feminist democratic principles projects in Africa. We're not doing that.
Money laundering.
But again, the question is why? Why?
Money laundering.
This sounds crazy. It is. Why would they do this?
Money laundering.
And what we saw on vivid display over the weekend was the re-emphasis of this fact. This is motivated purely out of fear. And what do we mean by that? You saw the Democratic leader in the House, Hakeem Jeffries, endorse Zohran Mamdani for mayor of New York City on Friday. It was an illustration of what we're facing here. The Democrats right now fear the far left activists more than they fear air traffic controllers, Border Patrol agents, American service members, and so many others missing their paychecks. They fear the Marxist insurgents like Mamdani more than they fear families and children going hungry from lapsed benefits that keep food on their tables. They simply fear losing their own political positions if they don't appease the angry far-left base right now.
Okay, so that's the reason it's been called the Schumer shutdown. Gunther Eagleman said breaking Americans are calling out Democrats for the Schumer shutdown. They're still getting paid. Everyone else still suffers. So in other words, Schumer and AOC and all that, they're still getting paid. Maybe lower levels of government aren't getting paid, but they are. Everyone knows they've lied this entire time. Karma's coming to get the Democrats quickly. Listen to this one.
Let me put some information out there for y'all. And I'm not telling you who to vote for. I just want you to hear this information, do whatever you want with it, and then form your opinion afterwards. But to everybody saying this is who y'all voted for, Trump's the reason why all of this is going on with SNAP benefits, government shutdown, this, that, and the third. Democrats are actually the reason why the government is being shut down. Is shut down. They're the ones who has voted no 10 plus times to get the government open back up. SNAP benefits, they voted no. Paying essential workers, they voted no. The Republicans are bringing these bills to pass to pay these things and fund these programs. The Democrats are voting no. Why? To use it as leverage. They want y'all to say it's Trump's fault. That's what they want, to divert the attention off of them, put it on Trump. That way y'all don't even realize that they're not for the people. They're the ones that are the reason all of this is going on. They want Trump to go down in history as the president who has had this huge crisis under his term, when they're the ones who are voting no. But they don't want you to know that. Y'all need to understand, the biggest thing about it is that y'all need to understand that while they're voting no to not fund the SNAP program, not open the government, not pay essential workers, while they're voting no for all of those things, they're still getting paid. So everybody else is suffering, but they're still getting paid. Again, this is leverage because they want Trump to go down in history as the president over this, during his term, to have this huge crisis, when the Democrats are the ones to vote, have been voting no for everything. They just want y'all to continue to blame Trump. That's their goal. I'm not sitting here trying to tell you to switch sides, who to vote for, none of that. I just want you to know the truth and know the information before you go around pointing the finger, because that's what they want you to do. And I'm not the one to fearmonger, but if you got some money, some extra money, you should probably go to the grocery store and load up, because at the rate that this is going right now, November is going to be a wild one.
There you go. Very interesting, isn't it? Nick Sautor said breaking the White House has found a way to make sure troops are paid this week despite the ongoing Schumer shutdown. Vice President J.D. Vance has confirmed, fantastic, these heroes deserve every dime on time. They do. Chicago One Ray said this guy nails it. If Democrats get their way, they'll hold the government hostage. Make no mistake, Democrats are fully prepared to let the country sink. This is how they act when they don't get their way. Democrats are fooling no one with this Schumer shutdown. Hold the line. Okay, just got to make sure my volume's not too high, otherwise it might blow your ears off. I've been known to do that.
If the Democrats get their way, then they will hold the government hostage and then force Trump into a situation where he has to take executive orders in order to either open up the government or fund the country in some way, shape, or form. We are in a constitutional crisis. But make no mistake, the Democrats are fully prepared to let the country sink rather than to give up any little remnants of power that they have. This big tantrum that they're throwing is just an example of how they act when they don't get their way. They're not budging. Trust and believe they have no intention on budging. But maybe that's what they want. Maybe they want to throw us into a constitutional crisis. Maybe they want to force Trump's hand to make him look like a dictator, to make him look like their no kings accusations were actually true.
They want no kings and yet they're begging for food stamps. Funny that.
To make him look like a dictator. I mean, think about it. At this point, they don't have many options. I mean, what do? Allow Trump to continue his next 3 years doing all the things that he's wanted to do for this country? Look at how much that has already been done. Imagine another 3 years. There's no way they're going to allow that to happen. So what do?
There you go. Sorry if you can hear background noise. Okay, Sassafras84 said this SNAP benefit situation clearly shows that you all could not survive a world built off natural selection. Boom, what a roast. It's true too. The people screaming no kings are now suddenly crying for government to save them. The EBT community is coming in contact with something they've never had, accountability. Here's another guy. Listen to this one.
I don't want to sound like I'm overthinking it because I know a lot of y'all can't keep up, but this SNAP benefit situation clearly shows y'all could not survive a world built off natural selection. If the government really stood back, if they just let everything go and let the world be who they want to be without them, y'all would not survive. Let's say they just only protected us from invasion of other countries, but you have to do everything else yourself. Y'all would not survive the natural selection. You couldn't get your own food. You couldn't keep your own crib. You couldn't educate your own kids. Y'all would literally not survive a world of natural selection. Y'all response to the SNAP benefits is don't celebrate the holiday. Keep your money. Everyone's going to be affected because food prices going to go up. Yeah, but this is natural selection. This is how the world moves. Without the government, right? What y'all going to do when all those wolves start attacking the sheeps? You either going to turn into a wolf yourself, you going to follow behind them like a fox, or you going to be slaughtered. That's how natural selection works. And this one issue with just benefits is showing y'all that y'all are biting the hand that feeds you. A lot of y'all are against the government. You constantly protesting. You constantly talking about them. But then you turn to the same internet where you're bashing them and you're trying to hold them accountable to continue to feed you and put food on your table. They don't have to do that. This is them showing you we don't have to do a lot of the things we do. But they understand the benefits of who they are. And a lot of people take it for granted. You can't be biting the hand that feeds you and then turning around and talking shit about the person who that hand belonged to. It don't make any sense. Y'all have to pick a new battle. Pick a new fight.
And he's correct too. Okay, Wall Street Mav said USDA is leaving no question about who's responsible for the SNAP program running out of money. State Democrats have now voted 12 times to not fund the food stamp program, also known as the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, SNAP. Bottom line, the well is run dry. At this time, there'll be no benefits issued November the 1st. We are approaching an inflection point for Senate Democrats. They can continue to hold out for healthcare for illegal aliens and gender mutilation procedures, or reopen the government so mothers, babies and the most vulnerable among us can receive critical nutrition assistance, because that's what they're holding out for. They want free healthcare for illegal immigrants. They want to send money overseas for gender studies and LGBTQ, okay? So money laundering, that's what they're doing. Megan Nancy said, why are 42 million people receiving SNAP benefits? Wow, that's a lot. You've seen them, fake lashes, manicured nails and able bodies. They pull out EBT cards from designer purses. There's serious problems with this program. It's not free, it's fraud. Shan Lavelle James said, everybody's asking me why I'm a single mother of 5 at the age of 26. If you all was really smart, you'd understand kids is the biggest hustle out there. I don't clock into no job. I let Uncle Sam and baby daddies cut me a check every month. Wow. 5 kids equals 5 bags, food stamps, rent, free healthcare, and child support on top of that. My bill's paid before I even wake up. Everybody keep asking why I had 5 kids because every single one come with a check attached. Jesus, thinking of kids like, oh God. My life secured while you're stressing over 9 to 5s. Don't be mad at me. Be mad you ain't catch on to the hustle. Jesus. What a way to look at life, eh? Jeez. Miller Joyce says America spends $7.8 billion a month on SNAP. If illegals were removed from SNAP, the cost would reduce by 70%. If all benefits were cut off, they'd leave. 45% of all Afghanis living in America receive free food from you. Is this your American dream? Because it sure ain't mine. Afghan, 45.6%. Somali, 42.4%. Iraq, 34.8%. Dominican, 34.4%. Caribbean, 28.2%. Native, 27.6%. Puerto Rican, 27.2%. Cuban, 25.2%. Blacks are 24.9%. Arabs, 24.1%. Cambodians, 23.6%. Oh, my God, it just keeps going on and on and on. Wow. Okay. Indians are the lowest at 4.4%. Italians are the next lowest. White are just above that. Chinese are just above that. Filipino, Nigerian, Israeli, Colombian, they're all towards the bottom. Peruvian, Pakistani, Ecuador. Geez, that's a lot. That's a lot of money, man, for the taxpayers to be paying. But I think people who are really in need of it, like the disabled and the elderly, I do believe that Trump will find a way to get them paid. I don't believe he's going to leave people absolutely stranded. Wall Street Apes said don't stop talking about this because it's not okay. Here is the top 5 ethnicities receiving SNAP benefit food stamps, which we just, I just showed you and told you. It's a little mind-blowing how much benefits for Americans don't go to them. What are we doing in this country? It's interesting, isn't it? C3 said, why would the SNAP program almost double starting when Biden was president? See chart number 2. America was flooded with illegals and anchor babies were born. Then the entire household is eligible for SNAP. Americans pay for it all. That's the scam. And there you go. The late 2019, 2020, the amount of spending on SNAP went, whoa, it really nearly, yeah, it did double. Jeez. Sort of tapering off a little bit towards 2025. That's crazy. What's the next one? Historical illegal crossings along the US southern border since 2000. 2020, there you go. Whee! All the way up. It's crazy. I'm sure Australia's no better with our Centrelink benefits and NDIS and, you know, where normal people, normal Australian people with disabilities find it really hard to get on there, but people from overseas, I don't know, they just give it to them. Colonel Towner Watkins said, so Tammy is admitting the following. Democrats passed the ACA with fake costs. Democrats passed credits to cover up the cost of your health care and passed the cost onto taxpayers so Democrats look good, which expired this year. Democrats closed the government to cover up their crimes and are extorting their GOP counterparts and President Trump to hide their crimes by starving poor Americans and their illegal alien voters and not paying our military. The Democrats demand the continuation of the credits or no deal. Senator Tammy Baldwin said this shutdown fight is about one thing and one thing only, the cost of health care. No. I don't know. I don't know if she's good or not, but no, it's because they won't pass a clean CR bill. So they won't pass one without sending money overseas for LGBTQ and women's causes and a lot of money laundering by the sound of it to me. That's just my opinion, though. Rob Smith said, breaking news, Trump has refused a second meeting with Anthony Albanese. Yeah, because he's got no spine. It's too easy, mate. Hey, Cassandra and Kelly, how you going? Who else has joined us? I think that's about it. Yep, okay. Okay, Mr. Star-Spangled MAGA said this video will make your day. F around, find out. Senile Liberal tries to block motorcade and instantly regrets it. Let's have a look at this.
You're gonna get hit by a car.
That's hard.
my bag. Watch my bag. I got you. Go ahead. Go ahead. I got you.
She's still fighting. When did people think that cops can't touch a woman? When did that become a thing? Because she effed around and found out she was disrupting traffic. The cops, obviously, tackled her. All I can say is, yeah, suck, you know what? Sucko. Oh, dear. I'd say suck shit, you know, but, you know. Malcolm Roberts said, I raised with the Director of Public Prosecutions, Ms. Raylene Sharp, the facts of a recent state case in which the sentencing judge stated that a convicted pedo received a reduced sentence because the offender came from a culture where sexual offences against children were more tolerated. I asked what the prosecution's stance would be if such an offence were to come before a Commonwealth court, and was informed that a Commonwealth judge would also take cultural factors into account during sentencing. I found this deeply concerning, as I believe sexual offences against children are amongst the most serious crimes. In my view, an offender's cultural background should not diminish the gravity of such offences. Well, once you come to Australia, okay, it should be by the Australian law, not taking their culture into... Are they coming here and integrating? Why does their culture matter now, ours doesn't? This is what's happening in Australia, okay? They are looking at it with cultural factors, taking them into account. So if it's okay for Muslims to marry children, rape children, do whatever they want to children, so that's acceptable now over here, is it? Wow. Hey, Jennifer, how you going? Good to see you. And we've got to pray for menacing muskrat as well. And Kelly said, everyone pray for my friend Nancy. She fell backwards several times. Oh, God love her. Yep, pray for anyone injured, having a hard time, anything like that. Our hearts go out to those people. Okay, Colonel Towner Watkins said there's so many big accounts screaming how Qatar is supporting every Muslim terrorist group, Hamas, ISIS, etc., and that the leaders are all in Qatar. What they will not tell you is Qatar holds the largest US military base in the Middle East. If you want to take down the Muslim terrorist groups the international syndicate uses to orchestrate terrorism on demand, you would host the leaders in a central location so you could gather intelligence and map their networks. I mean, if you really actually wanted to take them out. FYI, AF-1 doesn't have to land to refuel. The refueling stop in Qatar and meeting with the Emir and PM was very significant and a message to the enemies of peace. Now ask yourself why the CIA and State Department was feeding the DNI and White House false intelligence about Hamas and the peace deal. Why was the State Department and the CIA sabotaging the peace deal? Because there's a large presence of CIA in Qatar. Do you think for 1 second the CIA didn't have all the necessary intelligence to dismantle these terrorist organisations years ago? They most certainly did. But why would they want to dismantle their own creation? Exactly. I think this is who is causing the most trouble. And the same with the Charlie Kirk thing. I'd put it more to the CIA, the deep state. But hey, that's just me. That's just me. Because they're everywhere. We have an office in Sydney, Australia. I'm sure that, well, they're, according to the board, they were running North Korea. They run a lot of these countries that when they need a boogeyman, they just, you know, get their little CIA people happening and organise. Okay, that's just my opinion though again. Libs of TikTok said this is a paediatrician in Antrim Health in North Carolina. He's a man pretending to be a woman. This information is apparently not shared with patients before scheduling. They also allegedly inform patients that they're seeing a female doctor when they schedule with him. Share this with anyone you know in the area who might be a patient at Atrium Health. This is in North Carolina. This person who's going by Laura Levin, MD, Pediatrics. When people ring up for an appointment, they say they're getting a lady. Okay, this is what they get. And this is what someone wrote. It would be nice to know this provider is a male before scheduling appointment for my child. This is a transgender doctor, and upon scheduling my child's appointment, I was told we would be seeing a female, which is actually a male. Is this not a violation of patients' rights? And for those patients who are victims of abuse may be triggered by a male exam, this information needs to be disclosed before scheduling an appointment, especially with paediatric patients. Not only that, this person is a doctor and we know this is a mental condition, okay? It is a mental disorder. So how is a mental doctor allowed to be treating anyone? A mentally ill doctor, sorry. How are they allowed to be treating anybody? I have no words. Okay, all part of the show. Eric Doherty said, holy crap, the country's largest federal workers' union just demanded Chuck Schumer and Democrats reopen the government by passing the Republican Clean CR. They represent nearly 1 million workers. American Federation of Government Employees President, it's time to pass a clean continuing resolution and end this shutdown today. No half measures and no gamesmanship. Devastating way for Chuck to start off the week. I believe there's a method in this madness. Bad Hombre said not on their side either. Obviously, the Republicans are using this to their full advantage because the Democrats are shutting things down, holding everyone hostage. Bad Hombre said Trump invests $20 billion in Argentine currency swap. Merely sweeps in landslide victory. Argentine peso up 10%. The US Treasury just made $2 billion on the investment. Financial and political win. Democrats and Argentine commies in shambles. Smart move by Trump and Bessent. And people were screaming because Trump gave Argentine help, $20 billion, okay? Funny that they get $2 billion on the return. Trump's a businessman. He knows what he's doing. Okay, Wall Street Mav said this kid was raised right. That is, I was doing this yesterday. I don't know why. Does anyone else notice that they're making car parking spots smaller? They're starting to put those lines that mark the car spots closer together. I don't know if anyone else has noticed this, but it seems you really have trouble parking cars these days, or other people don't know how to park. But I'm sure those lines are getting closer together. I remember noticing it in one particular car park. I can't remember which one it was. Many years ago when they redrew the lines, they were all of a sudden, they were all much closer together. But this kid was raised right, trying not to damage the car next to them when they opened the door. I actually had to act like a skinny person trying to get out of my car yesterday, the day before, sorry. Okay, Awakened Outlaw said, is responding to who? Bad Hombre. By the way, most recent data shows that about 3.9 million anchor babies are qualifying their illegal alien parent households for SNAP. Additionally, there are 1.5 million refugees on SNAP. Awakened Outlaw said this isn't even about not having compassion for illegal aliens. This is about having compassion for Americans. It's just not our responsibility to subsidise them living here. And this is especially true when actual American citizens are suffering. Our dollars should prioritise and support our own first and foremost. Not sure why that's even a controversial position to harbour. In fact, every country on earth should function accordingly. And I agree. They should. Okay, I just read that one. Awakened Outlaw said the rally AOC spoke at yesterday with the crowd chanting "Tax the Rich" exposed why the Democrat Party is a dead man walking. I assert as much because the vast majority of America isn't down with communism. Far from it, in fact. It's political suicide outside the bluest of the blue metropolitan cities. But that is exactly where the far left is forcing the Democrat Party and its rise of and far left enthusiasm for, so ran Mamdani, that exposes this dynamic as the truth. Okay. Ready for this one? Name one country other than the US where a foreigner can immigrate, refuse to assimilate, condemn the host country for not catering to the foreign culture, collect welfare, and then call the host country oppressive and intolerant, says Eric Matheny. Padraig O'Henry had the right idea. Britain, Ireland, France, Sweden, Netherlands, Spain, Canada, Germany, Australia, you name it, etc. In short, the entire suicidal leftist West. It's a mind disease called globalism. Noble, heroic, and sane exceptions, Hungary and Poland and Trump Republicans. There you go. There is other countries, okay, but it's all the Western countries. You can't do this in other, like if you go to a Muslim country, you can't do that. No, you get treated like a second-class citizen unless you're a Muslim. Brianna Morello said, pay attention. The plan to install communist Islamist Zohran Mamdani as New York City mayor has been in the works since 2014. None of this is new. The plan is to use our elections against us to take over major cities. Listen to the Mamdani's campaign director in this undercover footage obtained by, is it Stephen Crowder? S. Crowder?
It's not like this just came out of nowhere. Like, not at all. Like, this has been a coordinated, organizing effort for, since 2014. It's not like this.
There you go. He said it himself. Okay, I mean, therefore I am said, Zohran gives his best Oscar performance pretending to fight back tears over Islamophobia. This is a person running for New York City mayor, whinging about and crying about Islamophobia.
I want to use this moment to speak to the Muslims of New York City.
What are all these little nodding heads doing?
I want to speak to the memory of my aunt. Who stopped taking the subway after September 11th because she did not feel safe in her hijab.
Oh, is that all you think of 9/11, just because your aunt didn't feel safe in a hijab, which is a lie anyway, as we're going to find out. Forget all the people who died during 9/11. Don't worry about them. He's just worried about his aunt who's facing a bit of Islamophobia, which she wasn't. Eric Doherty said just in, 2 major American cities are about to elect Muslim communists as mayor. Unreal. Minneapolis, Omar Fateh, and New York City, Zohran Mamdani. The consequence of being legally invaded. These cities are dooming themselves. God help yous, honestly. Paul Zapula said socialist imbeciles Bernie Sanders, AOC and Zohran Mamdani hug each other as a crowd of low IQ voters at Forest Hill Stadium in Queens, New York City, cheer them on. Socialism has never worked and never will. This is what mass stupidity looks like. Yes, it does. That is mass stupidity. The very, very meaning of mass stupidity is this. Okay, Right Angle News Network said breaking. It's been revealed that the aunt Zohran Mamdani shed fake tears over, claiming she stopped riding the subway after 9/11 because she didn't feel safe wearing her hijab. Neither wore a hijab nor lived in New York City at the time. She lived in Tanzania. How's that? Liar. Don't believe anyone. Don't even believe me. Do your own research. Do your own homework, okay? Do not believe anyone. Project Constitution said Tyler Robinson Discord leak. Okay, let's go back to Tyler Robinson. The insane Discord chats and behind-the-scenes hell that radicalised a quiet gamer who the FBI claims is Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin. You won't believe the unhinged spiral behind the FBI's prime suspect in Charlie Kirk's September 10th shooting. Quiet Utah gamer Tyler Robinson, allegedly radicalised by his trans boyfriend, Lance's full-blown psychotic breakdown. Okay, this guy, Lance, hasn't been seen for 6 weeks when the court case is coming up, which Candace is not a part of because she wasn't there or involved with Charlie Kirk at the time. Had nothing to do with that. But this Lance does. It's gone missing for 6 weeks. A close friend who gamed with them for 6 years leaks raw Discord logs and apartment pics, Lance's nest of trash, wires and mouldy mushroom experiments, turning their pad into a horror show, fueled by DMT binges, booze, weed psychosis and DIY HRT, DIY hormone therapy, okay, that left him giggling like the Joker while scribbling CIA conspiracies and awkward denialism rants. I think this is a CIA setup, but hey, that's just me. I think if any organisation is behind these people, it's going to be this. From chill 2020 memes and fishing trips to 2024's election fuel rages, Lance's wide-eyed meltdowns dragging apolitical Tyler into anti-Trump fury furry chats and sleepless chat GPT marathons in ancient tongues, their romance devolved into a Tyler pity-banging, a delusional mess while the world ignored the red flags. The FBI has the files, this insider's got the unredacted truth, exposing how one gifted kid's burnout became a national nightmare. Was Tyler the fall guy in Lance's fever dream, or did the feds bury the real monster? You can watch the full expose now. Your jaw will hit the floor. This is on Turkey Tom's video on YouTube. Turkey Tom is on YouTube. And I would encourage anyone just to go and look at it, okay? No matter what you believe, go and have a look at it. I'm yet to watch it, but I thought I would include it here. I highly encourage you to go watch Turkey Tom's video YouTube where he does an excellent breakdown of this, as well as check out Anon Bird's Substack, which is what I screen recorded here. I'll drop the link to both in the comments below. So what I might do is bookmark the actual Discord logs to see if I can do that next. Dead Man Walking Podcast said, warning, graphic Charlie Kirk was a Christian husband, father of 2 young children, image bearer of God, executed in public. It's not executed, it was assassinated. For merely having a discussion. There's a reason why God commands the death penalty for those who commit murder. And I'm not going to show, it does show you the whole thing. Okay, I want Timmy on with me when I discuss anything about Charlie Kirk, okay? Because he had a very interesting take on it. Ultramaga Kevin said during his first term, President Trump aggressively targeted the deep state, boldly criticising intelligence agencies. Chuck Schumer, a corrupt and seasoned politician, warned him of the consequences. He said, didn't he say, we'll get you 5 ways from Sunday? That's what Chuck Schumer said about Trump. In response, they launched the Russia investigation and a controversy over a phone call with Zelensky, which led to impeachment and consumed much of his first 4 years in office. They then presented plans for wars in Ukraine and Gaza, but Trump, campaigning on anti-war platform, opposed both. He proposed mediating the Russia-Ukraine conflict before the war had even started and resolving the Israeli-Palestine issue by expanding the Abraham Accords. Opponents displeased with his plans, so they decided to steal the 2020 election to remove him. When he ran again, surviving legal battles and 2 assassination attempts, Trump returned to office, cautious of provoking the satanic pigs, aware of risks to his family. He privately opposes Zelensky and Netanyahu, but feels constrained from confronting them directly. Similarly, he disagrees with the $40 billion bailout for Argentina, which struggles to repay $60 million in IMF loans but cannot openly object. If pushed too far, he might lash out, though he remains mindful of personal and national repercussions. Let's see how this unfolds. I'm praying. Well, I believe Trump is a businessman and he knew what he was doing with Argentina. I do believe he knows what he's doing. Clandestine said, I'm 99% sure Trump addressing gain of function as part of the negotiations with Russia. For years now, Russia have been trying to start a formal UN investigation into US bioweapon production. Russia claim it's one of their main reasons for moving into Ukraine in 2022. Russia have been telling the world they just want justice for COVID. Putin wants Fauci's head, along with a great deal of others, to include Soros, Obama, Clinton, Biden, Bill Gates and many more. That Russian military claim to be involved in US-funded bioweapon development in Ukraine. Those names are not something I made up. All of this information was formally alleged at the UN by Russian military, multiple times since 2022. The chart pictured below is part of the formal allegations sent to the UN by Russian military. Whether or not you believe Russia is a different conversation, but they actually accuse those people of bioweapon production. Putin will not withdraw his troops unless he has guarantees that the US bioweapon development in Ukraine and elsewhere will be stopped, investigated, and are no longer a threat to his people. There's simply no way this subject did not come up during negotiations. This has been one of Russia's main subjects at the UN for 3 years now. There's no way Trump and Putin did not discuss this. Trump's executive order about gain of function tells me that negotiations with Russia went well, and in all likelihood stopping and investigating gain of function is one of the stipulations Putin demanded in order to withdraw, and Trump was happy to cooperate. Trump and Putin share the same enemies. Oh, they do. They really do. Okay, Michael Schellenberger said last week we reported that the CIA and USAID-run front group, OCCRP, were behind Trump's 2019 impeachment. Okay, CIA and USAID-run front group, OCCRP. Now, a new investigation finds that USAID, OCCRP, drove the Trump-Russian collusion hoax. Blockbuster new investigation led by Galaxy Brain. Oh, it's coming. It's coming. Grasshopper said kaboom, Donald Trump dropping a Moab, mother of all bombs. That's just a saying for the algorithm, the AI. It doesn't know the difference between actually the word, B-O-M-B, and, a saying like mother of all B-O-M-Bs, okay? The FBI interfered in the 2016 election to help Hillary Clinton and hurt Donald Trump. We know that Trump-Russia collusion investigation was a hoax that should never have happened, and that the Justice Department and FBI failed to follow the law. Steve Hilton. There you go. Donald Trump said the FBI interfered in the 2016 election to help Hillary Clinton and hurt Donald Trump. We know that the Trump-Russia collusion investigation was a hoax that should never have happened, and that the Justice Department and FBI failed to follow the law. Fallout from the long-awaited Durham report. Remember Durham? John Durham? Yeah, it's coming. Proud Army brat said Trump was methodically investigated for Russian collusion by Mueller for 22 months who found nothing. All while the Bidens collected $40 million from a Russian oligarch. Funny that, isn't it? It's called projection. Projection, Your Honour, projection. Ben Obese-Jecti said the government withheld evidence that China is a threat. Jonathan Powell suppressed a Whitehall investigation into Chinese spying after Treasury lobbying. The government won't include China in the enhanced tier of FIRS with Russia and Iran. What does China have on Keir Starmer? MI5 dossier on China threat never passed to spy prosecutors. Well, that's funny because I'm pretty sure Australia's doing exactly the same thing. They don't see China as a threat at all. Okay, Colin Ruggs said new FBI agent Charles McGonigal, who investigated Donald Trump for colluding with Russia, is set to plead guilty for colluding with Russia. Read that again. McGonigal, who was a key figure in the Trump-Russia hoax investigation, will be pleading guilty after being accused of illegally working for a Russian oligarch. The ex-FBI agent was indicted in January for money laundering and violating US sanctions by working on behalf of Russian billionaire Oleg Deripaska. McGonigal also tried getting Deripaska off the United States sanction list. You can't make this up. Projection, Your Honour. Okay, Lance Gooden said the Trump-Russia investigation was a hoax, which we know from the start. John Brennan was at the centre and he lied to Congress. No one's above the law. Accountability's coming. I can't wait, because that has worldwide implications. It involves the UK, it involves Australians, it involves Canada. It involves a lot of people from around the world. Proud Army brat said HRC, which is Hillary, funded $102 million for Steele's Russia's Trump's dossier, then listed the payment as campaign legal services. The FEC concluded the money was misrepresented and fined her. No indictment, not even a criminal investigation. Who's above the law? Yeah, apparently they say no one's above the law, and yet they are. Awakened Outlaw said, boom, get in here. Paul Ryan, as the Speaker of the House, had in his possession a Steele dossier before he had Devon Nunes and I launch Russiagate investigation. Hang on, that doesn't really make sense. And never told us, think before anyone knew about fake intel, he had his own copy. I found it on my own, then blew up FBI DOJ. Why didn't he tell his own damn team? Report that fake news, Kash Patel. Huge. Kash Patel drops a bomb. British court reveals Paul Ryan was the first one to receive a copy of the Steele dossier back in 2016. He hid this for years. Wow. Makes a whole lot of sense. Hang on, I'm going to have a sip of my coffee. Okay, the penalties for illegally entering different countries. Here we go. Russia, 2 years in a labour camp. India, 8 years in prison. Pakistan, 10 years in prison. North Korea, the death penalty. Canada, the US and Europe, free housing, healthcare, education, food, public transport, cell phones and cash. And you can include Australia in there. Come on, guys, the country can only be a country if it protects its border. Immigration's not bad, but illegal immigration should be penalised. And I agree. TMK said with everyone from Obama to Wiseman and Jack Smith suddenly turning up in London, maybe it wasn't Russia that colluded to overthrow our elections. Maybe it was London all along. It's going to unwrap a lot of stuff when they start investigating into that Russia collusion hoax. I'm telling you, it's going to go around the world, okay? It's going to involve people all over the place. Elon Musk said suicidal empathy is killing Western civilization. It's good to have empathy, but we cannot allow our empathy to be abused to the point of extinction. I am, yes, you are, no, said suicidal empathy, many such cases. Swedish politician who fought for equality and open borders is beheaded in Congo. Yep. Zada Catalan was a Swedish Green Party politician who believed in equality and open borders. Well, she has been beheaded in the Congo, okay? Just so we know where we stand, you know. Ziv Crypto said update. All spot XRP ETF decisions have been postponed. Okay. XRP's been in a fight with the SEC's Security Exchange Commission for years, and they're holding it back. They won't let them just be. The SEC won't let XRP just be. And that's what I believe. A lot of things are going to be run off XRP. Okay? A lot of the financial, so when the financial crash happens, right, if it does, there is another financial system ready to be born, ready to go. And I believe this might be it. It doesn't mean you won't have cash, you will have cash, but I think there'll be treasury bonds, government treasury bonds, and not the fake cash we have now. The SEC's review process is frozen due to ongoing US government shutdown. Franklin's XRP ETF new deadline is November the 14th. New deadline's now expected mid to late November once the SEC resumes operations. If it does. I don't know. American Jose Eilenman said, Trump ran for president in 2016, 2020 and 2024. Democrats had control of the Epstein files in 2016, 2021 and 2024, but never released anything. If it was so damaging to Trump, why didn't they release it? They didn't release it because it's a dud and they know it. No, they've played with it since then. Now, I wouldn't trust, they've had this information for a long time. They never released it. If Trump was in it, they would have done that by now. DOQ said for all those that complain about the Epstein files, DJT put it into the hands of the FBI and DOJ. Maybe his quote, we're still talking about this guy, was a direct quote from someone at the FBI or DOJ, and he was repeating it. This is Trump's strategy 101. They're going to have to get to the truth because I believe the FBI and the CIA or whoever else is involved in this has tried to rewrite things, turn the story to protect themselves. Why wouldn't they? American Papa Bear said this man just absolutely dropped the mic on the European Union. You talk about democracy? It is you, the unelected bureaucrats, who hate democracy the most. This is exactly how you deal with these people. Bravo. Let's have a listen.
Don't tell us about democracy, because actually you, the unelected bureaucrats, hate democracy the most. What kind of democracy do you even talk about in Europe? The one where if you criticize migrants for killing or raping women and children, you can end up in prison for something like racism or hate speech? Or the one where if you are against sex transition of young children, you can be prosecuted? Or maybe the one where if you vote for a candidate who wins the elections, but you don't like him, you just cancel the whole elections like you did in Romania? How many people in the European Union are in prisons because they said or wrote something on the social networks? Just their opinions. How many independent journalists are prosecuted and persecuted because they openly expose the truth about you and the consequences of your own actions? Yes, I agree. We need to defend democracy. We need to protect democracy. We need to protect it from you, because you are the biggest threat for democracy in the European Union.
There you go. Good on him.
Don't tell us about democracy.
Okay, Matt in Vancouver said, so the President of the United States is so bad that we can't be friends with the USA. But we can now be bros with China because they're definitely not a threat to democracy like Trump. Can anyone actually be co-opted by their own government enough to believe this insanity? Yeah, that's what I think our government were trying to do. Cozy up to China rather than US. Okay, I don't know what that stands for, but Glenn Moore said, hey, Elon Musk, can you please tell the whole world that democracy has fallen in Ireland? Less than 43% of people voted and 21% of them spoiled their vote. Wow. That's what happens when you don't vote. You get taken over. Hey, what can you do? Yossi Banyaka said Sweden Muslim asylum seekers say they're unhappy with Swedish culture and values and want to replace them with Sharia law. If they reject the freedom and democracy that welcomed them, should they be deported back to their Islamic homelands? Yes, they should. You don't like it? Go home. Wow, it's not that hard. But that's not what they want, is it? No. They want to take over. C3 said, breaking news, a photo of Gavin Newsom and his childhood street gang from the San Francisco hood has been found. Another one trying to gain sympathy, saying he grew up hard, you know, bouncing a basketball, something like that. It's a miracle he didn't end up just another statistic. Oh, look at that. Gavin Newsom, well-dressed, rich family. Okay, Gavin Newsom with Paul Moen, Andrew Getty and Bill Getty for posing the Children of the Rich feature that ran as San Francisco Chronicle on December the 12th, 1991. Okay, so Gavin Newsom is a child of rich. Okay, so that bullshit he was spouting is full of shit. Colin said, watching GB News with Nana Kua and our brilliant policy Layla. Layla's correct. We've got the highest energy bills in Europe. Why? Because of the stupid green energy. We need to cancel stupid net zero. And so do we in Australia. It's insane. So somehow we've all got the highest energy bills. Okay. But I think that's happening everywhere. Everywhere the green stuff's being talked about, yeah, we're going to get bigger bills. Sloven said, geologist Professor Ian Pilmer on the insane agenda of net zero. If we had net zero, then you wouldn't eat, because when you eat, you convert carbon compounds, which go into your body, and the rest you get rid of. We breathe in 0.04% carbon dioxide and breathe out 4%. That's us getting rid of carbon dioxide. So if we had net zero, you'd have to drop dead, okay? If we reach net zero, that means no life. We are carbon. We are the carbon they want to get rid of. So there you go. Dave, firstly, please retweet this to as many Scots as possible. Are you sick of net zero nonsense? I certainly am. We have 1 day left to oppose the monster pylons going in from Kintore to Teeling in northeast Scotland. Go to stopthepylons.object.now. They have an AI system ready to formulate your objection. Okay. We all have opinions. It's time to turn those opinions from words to actions, even if it seems small. We must do something together about this. It takes all of 5 minutes to fill in. Please, can I borrow your time and get you to add your voice? There you go. Wind turbines. They're going to put wind turbines in. What I can do is share this in the comments. Copy link. And put it in the comments. Paste that for any Scottish people who might be in the chat. I don't know, but you never know. Okay. Wide Awake Media said, Canadian PN Mark Carney, we can't stabilise the climate unless we get to net zero. When in the entirety of Earth's history has the climate ever been stable? And don't forget, you're the carbon they want to get rid of. You can't get to net zero. Katie said, every 12 days, China's carbon emissions exceed Australia's total annual emissions. Consequently, Australia's efforts to achieve net zero emissions would be offset by China's emissions in just 2 weeks. Net zero is a scam of massive proportions, which we have already spoken about over and over again. I'm going to keep saying it until people get it. I know you guys do. I mean, therefore I am, said New Yorkers, think carefully before voting for socialist Zoran Mamdani. If you help turn this city into Gotham City, don't run to red states and drag your failed ideas with you. You'll have to stay right here and sleep in the bed that you made. Oh dear. Oh, here we go. Brandon Straka from the Walk Away movement, which was lefties walking away from the left. Zoran Mamdani wants government-run grocery stores, but the reality is far more dangerous. State authority over what you can buy, what you can eat, and whether shelves remain stocked at all. Every nation that's handed its food supply to the government paid in hunger and fear. Venezuela, more than 80% of staple foods disappeared from store shelves. The Soviet Union, food rationing weaponised to control entire populations. New Yorkers cannot look away from these warning signs. This is V4 in my series exposing the deadly consequences of socialism. Many more coming. Watch, share, sound the alarm before it's too late. Oh, they will control it all right. They will. And you'll just get the worst food you can buy. They'll barely have enough, if they do have any of it at all. Wall Street apes said Americans who immigrated from Cuba warned New Yorkers about Zoran Mamdani's plan for government-run grocery stores. They show all the things they can buy in America grocery stores they couldn't buy in Cuba. For 35 years of their life, they couldn't get things like beef, cheese, and more. The socialists come out. Yes, the embargo exempts food. Shopping in America is a dream for them. This is the dream for people like me coming for a government grocery. Coming from places that have government groceries, don't trust them, man, don't trust them. Wall Street Ape said, I literally can't believe this is New York. New York must reject Zoran Mamdani. He's a practicing Muslim and refuses to condemn Sharia law. This is what Charlie Kirk warned us about. This is an Islam takeover of America. Wow. Hey, have you got mosques everywhere? Why are you out in the street? Why do you have to be out in the street? Why can't you gather in your mosques that our bloody governments have allowed you to build everywhere? Okay. Eric Doherty said, I fully support deporting Zoran Mamdani. I'm tired of pretending citizenship is a right for foreigners. He's not assimilated into our culture, not with his habits, not with his religion, and not with his ideology. The federal government should be able to much easier strip citizenship for these reasons. And I don't care if a single person views this as authoritarian. Plus, this is not to mention the arguments that Mamdani, who has aligned himself with Islamic terror, has violations with his citizenship forms and application process. I want a nation, not whatever this is. The Founding Fathers are rolling in their graves because someone as problematic as this is able to get this close to controlling the nation's top city. Not only that, most of the army people that passed away fighting would be rolling in their graves right now. Okay, Scott Jennings, on him saying he was sad for his aunt who, couldn't wear a hijab anymore because of 9/11. There was one big thing missing from Zohran Mamdani's emotional remarks about 9/11. Any mention of the victims of the worst terror attack on US soil. What are we to infer from this? Probably that he doesn't care. Yep, see, 3 different snakes, same act, Barack Hussein Obama and Zohran Kwame Mamdani. I can't even say that properly. Both Muslims. I hope people understand that. And remember, infiltration instead of invasion? That's how they've done it. Mayer said Zohran Mamdani's father, America is the root of all evil and was the inspiration for the Nazis. Hitler learned genocide from Abraham Lincoln. I'm sure Zohran loves America, though. Nice job, New York City.
America is the genesis of what we call model was exported all around the world. Abraham Lincoln generalized the solution of reservations. They herded American Indians into separate territories. For the Nazis, this was the inspiration. Hitler realized 2 things. One, that genocide was doable. It is possible to do genocide. That's what Hitler realized. Second thing Hitler realized is that you don't have to have a common citizenship. You can differentiate between people. The Nuremberg laws were patterned after American laws. Anyway, the US put Indians in reservations. The US invented the model.
This man is full of shit, and I bet you his son believes the same thing he does. Do you really think his son believes anything different? Hey, Mac J, how you doing? Good to see ya. And Hunty Bumtua. Okay. Petra said I'm more disgusted that Brigitte... Okay, we're going to go to Brigitte Macron. And just because I believe that Candace Owens is a infiltrator into the right does not mean I do not believe that this person might be a man. If not, she's the ugliest woman I've ever seen. But anyway, let's not worry about that. Yeah, I still think Candace Owens going off the deep end, okay? Yes. But anyway, Petra said I'm more disgusted that Brigitte, age 40, groomed Macron, age 14, while he was his teacher. Normalising pederast on the world stage is unconscionable. The general said, breaking French President Emmanuel Macron's wife, Brigitte Macron, discovered that her tax account on France's official government website listed her as a male under the name Jean Michael. I don't know if that's true, but I think it's funny as. Okay. And Grifty said the woman who spat on Israeli hostages poster is a pole dancing model who tells fans, I will only kiss you if you want a free Palestine. A pro-Palestinian supporter who repeatedly spat on a poster calling for the release of Israeli hostages while proclaiming fuck Israel has been unmasked as an exotic dancer who once teased her social media fans, I will only kiss you if you want a free Palestine. The Daily Mail can now reveal this young woman, captured in shocking footage taken in North London, is a 27-year-old pole dancer and model who goes by the name Scarlett Ankar on her socials. Video of the disturbing incident shows the young brunette woman with blonde highlights hawking her saliva before attempting to scrape the sticker off an advertising displaying outside Hendon Central Underground Station. When she realised she was being filmed, the woman held up her middle finger towards the hostage poster, featuring a yellow ribbon before telling her shocked bystanders, fuck Israel, fuck every dirty nasty Israel piece of you-know-what. The yellow ribbon is a symbol of Bring Them Home campaign for the hostages who were taken by Hamas terrorists and held captive in Gaza. A distinctive tattoo appearing on the woman's left hand in the video corresponds with the tattoo seen on Scarlett's left hand in a post on her Instagram account. Metropolitan Police confirm it's investigating the incident, which occurred around Sunday 11 p.m. as a hate crime. In the full video, which has been viewed by Daily Mail, the woman turns several times on the Jewish bystanders filming the incident, one of whom has a South African accent. I don't know why I put that in there. Oh dear. Why are you screaming Free Palestine? Who's paying you to do that? That's what I want to know. Hannah's Well said breaking the Free Palestine protester helpline is now live. Calls are flooding in from activists unsure what to be angry about since Gaza quietened down. Operators are standing by with recycled slogans and fresh hypocrisy. I want to play this because this is funny. Okay? We're going to have a listen to this. Good on this lady. Hannah's World UK for doing this. Okay, ready?
Hello, you've reached the Free Palestine Protesters support line, helping you decide what to pretend to care about next. How can I help you? Oh, you're not sure what to chant now that the peace deal's actually working? Yep, that's been confusing a lot of people. You already threw your flag in the wash, but still want something to be angry about? Totally normal. Yes, I understand. You spent 2 years screaming about Gaza and now you've got no new cause for your weekend marches. Well, we've got a few options for you. You can recycle last month's signs, pretend you're oppressed, or pivot back to climate change or no kings. It's seasonal and keeps the hashtags fresh. Oh, you're waiting for BBC guidance? Good plan. They usually tell you when and what to cry about. No, you don't actually have to read about the region. Just repost a meme with a flag and a crying emoji. That counts as foreign policy these days. Yes, we are running low on face paint and moral outrage, but we've got plenty of victim complexes left in stock. Okay, I'll book you in for our next session. How to stay furious when the thing you protested for actually happens. For you, Kefia, and your TikTok account. Another day, another confused activist. Priest breaks out and somehow they're still angry. Poor loves. Beep.
Oh, that was funny as. Oh, I love it. Okay. Oh, dear. We need more of them. Melinda Richards said no outrage from the Free Palestine crew. None at all. The media is also silent. Tommy Robinson said Nigerian Christians, every house was set ablaze and all our grains were burnt down. This morning we buried 29 people. The world is silent because Christians are being slaughtered in Nigeria. No one's mentioning that though. Hey. Okay, Kurdish Heval said Palestinian Syrian settlers in occupied Afrin are protesting to keep the Kurdish homes they stole. The same crowd that screams Free Palestine is literally occupying Kurdish land. Israel isn't the problem. The problem is Arab imperialism. Now, I don't know because I'm not there. I don't know, but I just thought this was very interesting because Palestine has not been a state, okay? It never has. Are they occupying Kurdish land? Is that what's going on? Funny that Egypt and Jordan and all them won't even take the Palestinians. They're troublemakers, apparently. Allegedly, I don't know. Okay. Ant said, oh, look, Free Palestine in action, exactly what the leftist and woke right wanted. Exclusive, Hamas have kneecapped 500 opponents in Gaza, claims Palestinian lawyer. Brave human rights lawyer speaks to Mirror on WhatsApp, call from inside Gaza, and describes how Hamas gunmen are attacking Palestinians who oppose them. Yes, and I believe that Hamas is another CIA implant, overthrow of governments, coups, you name it. I do believe. That's just me, though. You may have a different opinion, and that's perfectly fine. And one thing I missed the other day, I didn't play this, okay? Chris Rose says, I'm still laughing at this. Far-left idiots who spent the last 2 years yelling Free Palestine to impress these Islamists only be shoved out of the way by them because they actually do say there's no need for that. We're on the same side, bruv. And the other guy goes, no, we're not. Okay, hopefully you can hear this.
No need for that. We're on the same side, bro. No, we're not. Yes, we are, bro.
Did you hear that? No. No, we're not. They got told twice, no. Okay, insane. Trump headed to a 3-leg trip for Asia meetings in Malaysia, Japan, South Korea, and he just unexpectedly brought the leadership of Qatar and Air Force One for another meeting while refuelling. This man never stops, says Johnny Magga, and I believe he knows exactly what he's doing. Islam invasion said a man praying on a busy road caused traffic disruptions. When police and security asked him to move, he resisted and attacked security. With help from locals, authorities quickly subdued him. They view our kindness and tolerance as weakness, an opportunity to exploit. Okay, I've got to turn the music off, but this is what you get for disrupting traffic, okay? If one of us went and did that, in the middle of the street, got down on our hands and knees, I'm pretty sure the cops would be coming to arrest us too. What do you not understand about not being able to stop traffic, you fool? Okay, and poor Ireland. Bernie said you can't help the people who won't help themselves. This is why I showed you the amount of people who didn't vote in Ireland and what has happened when you don't. You can't help the people who won't help themselves. Catherine Connolly wins the Ireland presidency. Pro-mass migration, EU and progressive social justice. Oh, Ireland. Oh, dear. Okay, this is it. Right Angle News Network breaking. Conservatives are ruthlessly mocking Gavin Newsom after he debuted a new accent and fabricated backstory, claiming he was so poor while growing up he had to eat bread and mac and cheese just to pay the bills. His parents were millionaire socialites. Let's have a listen.
But also, you know, it was also about paying the bills, man. And it was just like hustling. And so I was out there kind of raising myself, turning on the TV, started, you know, just getting obsessed, you know, sitting there with the, you know, the Wonder Bread and 5 stacks of,
hey, it's like the White Stack 5 story.
Come on. Kraft macaroni and cheese.
Yeah,
That's how I grew up, bro.
Are you talking about me?
Young YG.
YG,
but
man.
Every day in the backyard, just bouncing the basketball, throwing the ball against the wall until the ball is just like fraying, man. And your arms
Entertaining yourself.
off. That's it. Whole thing.
Oh, what a load of bullshit.
So just, and then, you know, then the student that was shitty student in the back with his head down, all of a sudden started throwing the baseball a little faster than everyone else and started, you know, make a few free throws because I was sitting there practicing 500 of them every damn night. And in high school, I look up in the stands, my dad's back up there.
Okay, dope.
And it's like, man, and then he's bringing his friends and you're captain of the team and you're like, geez, you know, and it just saved me and it got me into college.
Bullshit. Money got you into college,
But also,
mate. Your money. Okay. Here's some more comedy. Matthew Kamanzuli said, we've lost our larrikin spirit. We've lost our sense of fun. Australia's run by a Karen with a clipboard. More fines in Singapore. Our politics suck. It's time for a change. Are you ready for this? I think I might have played this before on my other channel, but anyway, let's have a look because Australians are no longer laid back. Let's have a look.
The thing I do think is funny about us as Australians is that we think we're laid back. We are not laid back. We are the most uptight people I've come across in any country. When I think of us as Australians, I think of us as rule followers. They're the rules, mate. There's a line, there's a permit. Where you going there? Don't go near the fence, mate. You can't go there. Where's your helmet? You need a fluoro vest. There'll be a fine, mate. There'll be a fine. Like I went to Brazil and on the beach it blew my mind because the beach was alive. People were singing and dancing. They had like a bonfire set up. People would come up to me offering me push-up competitions. People were giving me drinks going, hey man, come to this party, man. Imagine going up to an Australian on a beach, building a bonfire next to him. Come up to him dancing going, hey man, come dance with me, dude. Here's a drink, come party. They'd be like, what the fuck, mate?
Yep.
Mate, this is my bit. Your bit's over there. Also, you can't park there longer than 4 hours. You're not allowed to grow your grass above a certain length without council approval. If you own a small business, you need a certificate to go above a certain height. You can't swear in public, not allowed to smoke near buildings. Don't touch me. Other than that, we're laid back.
That's pretty much it. That's pretty much how Australia is these days. They're not so laid back anymore. Okay, and that one was yesterday's. Okay, so we're at the end of the news. 1 hour and 15 minutes worth. That's all right. I thought it would take longer. Okay, so let's go to some comments. Whoa, we've detected video on your stream belonging to someone else. What? What the fork? What the fork? What the fork? What? Now it's brought up age restrictions. What the hell? Okay. Am I still on, guys? Because apparently they've detected, they're going to censor it, okay? As soon as this live is over, that'll probably be gone. Out to lunch said Democrats want to rebrand themselves to dark woke. Head on a swivel, snap cuts making folks talk looting for, yeah, they're stealing now. They think they've got a right to steal because, you know, they're not getting SNAP benefits anymore. Allegedly. So there you go. Okay, this is as far back as I can get now. Out to lunch says there's a bunch of truck drivers getting sent home. Looks like truck stops are being raided by ICE. Wow. Out to lunch said, I see right now there's no way I'd be able to drive a semi in the city. I wonder if can I click on anything? No, I can't click on any of that. Okay. I like how they tell me, but I don't know if I'm still live. Yep, I am. Okay, thank you, guys. Okay, Conchega said anyone in the UK that can confirm Keir Starmer being arrested. There's footage from 5 days ago of him being arrested. I don't know, yeah. Yeah, Deb, washing machine, money laundering. Out to lunch said Democrats want chaos. Yes, they do. Out to lunch said then you need military and martial law. Yeah, if they continue, they probably will. Charlie said they aren't even trying to hide it anymore. Conchega said food stamps. I spilled sauce on my letter. Does that count? Charlie said that guy is talking truth. Yep. Kelly, I found you live. Nice. Nice to see you. Cassandra said I had an epiphany earlier, Deb. What if ending EBT SNAP benefits at the end of October and many talking about riots and thefts could prompt normies to prep 4 days grocery before November when the shit hits the fan and 10 days of darkness. You never know, Cassandra. Out to lunch said it, yeah, at one point people are able to get nails and stuff on the cart. Wow. That's crazy. Why? Wow. You can actually get them paid for by food stamps? Wow. Maybe a haircut once every 6 months or so, but I mean, well, a year maybe? I don't know. Okay, everyone's saying hello. Cassandra said, hoping my parents prepped by accident this way since they're addicted to the fake news. Smack my head. I know. Yes, please give me thumbs up and please share if you think it's worth it. Charlie said, next to impossible to get anywhere with government programs if you're a natural citizen. Yeah. Kelly says, everyone please pray for my friend Nancy. She fell backwards several times. Yes, we will pray for anyone who is injured or having difficulties at the moment at all. Deb said a lot of bullshit. Cassandra said, I have. Deb said, maybe Trump can't understand ALOB because he talks elbow with his teeth falling out. Probably. Deb said, well, she's famous now on YouTube now. Yeah. Jennifer, how you going? Conchega said Malcolm Roberts, blah, blah, blah. Maybe ask how Pauline Hanson is worth between 20 and 30 million on Senate income. Registered corporate political parties. Deb said in a couple of religion to molested very young child is the norm. Yes. Cassandra said, infiltration by design by DS. Smack my head, yep. Humpty Bumtewa said, hello there, Hev. Nice to see you again. Blessing, sisters. You too. Or is it Humpty Bump? Tewa. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. D-Lee said, what happened to Muskrat? Oh, she just needs prayers at the moment. Yeah. Conchega said, D-Lee off with Muskrat. Susie? Jennifer said, we had to assimilate as blackfellas, so why can't immigrants? Yeah. Otherwise, why are you even in in the countries, you know? Why are you coming here if you don't want to integrate? I don't get it. Deb said, hoping our Alex is okay too. Yes, hope Alex is okay. Hopefully she's just sleeping, like having, getting good night's sleeps. Conchega said, Charlie Kirk was a cyber and hologram production. Deb said, I would be really pissed off. Cassandra said, creepy, oh my God, lady, doc, smack my head. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Charlie said, how is that even possible? Jennifer said, in the last days, good will be evil and evil will be good, and we can flip the tables of the money changers. Yes, I agree. Yep, Deb said, please give Hev thumbs up. Thank you for all lurking after giving a thumbs up. Cassandra said, so no one will buy a Hummer, smaller parking spaces? Maybe. But I noticed that quite a few years ago, they repainted a parking place. I think it was in the mountains, actually, up here. Yeah, they made them, all the parking spots, a lot smaller than they were. Now when you open doors, you're nearly hitting the car next to you. So you've got to act like pull your stomach in, pull everything in. Try not to let your chest come out too much or you won't be able to get out the car. And try and slide out between the door that you can only open a couple of centimetres, yeah. Jennifer said Australia and US, said Cassandra. Deb said, and then go to the country they fled from, then go home on holiday and bring back the rest of their extended family. That's exactly what they do. Yeah, out to lunch, the long con. Yeah, Jennifer, the Five-Eyed Gangsters, exactly. I think you'll find more than anything it's going to be the deep state. They're worldwide. They're all different countries. They're all different people, and they're all for the same thing. They probably took training lessons in WEF, trained by the WEF. Conchega said, Jennifer, naval white ensign only flown on naval ships and bases. Our land flag is red 3-2 ratio. Lucette said, Mamdani is a bad actor. He is, yeah. Cassandra said, cousins visit, then never leave. Witnessed firsthand in the UK from a room I rented to Gypsy Girls. Suddenly a family of 6 moved in, 2 living rooms, so oh no. Jeez, Cassandra. Cassandra said, I heard this auntie story was a lie, not in New York City then. Lucette said, Muslims believe they are allowed to lie if it furthers Islam. Yes, they do. And how you going, Lucette? Good to see you. They do. They have extra books other than the Quran that tells them they can lie to further their cause, okay, and take over the world. Deb said, and the Jewish are the same, Lucette. Kaya said, unpacking still. Lucette said, Deb, yes, which is why both sides are barbarians. Dealey said, Kaya, does that mean you finally found your stuff? Cassandra said, clowns in America behind JFK's senior shooting too, same as Charlie Kirk's, in my honest opinion. Yeah, so whether the trans person shot him or no matter what you think, I think, personally, just my own opinion, there's no proof, but I think the CIA is behind it. Nisi, how you going? I'm here with you all, sending much love from South Carolina, USA. God love you, Nisi. Conchega said, which version of Charlie Kirk is there of 5 doing the rounds? He was replaced. Kai said, nope, just the tools and about 4 changes of clothes. I suck at packing. Oh, so do I, from the last time I moved. Like, because we got a 6-bedroom home with 9 people in this house. So there's a lot of cleaning and general stuff to do anyway, right? And then trying to unpack on top of that, you barely get time, honestly. Kai said, I found 2 Bibles, missing 2. Oh, God love you. Cassandra said, Kai, RE, you're packing? Kai said, no, I'm unpacking after the force said move to West Virginia. Deb said, most important stuff first, Kai. Kai said, I'll make a quick return trip in 6 months for a few things. Oh, Cassandra said, lucky you, I'd wager it's pretty in West Virginia. Dealey said, at least you have your tools, Kai. Yes, most important tools, number 1. Kai is moving. 3rd channel phone blew up. What? Really? Deb said, I bet Hillary's still pissed she lost the election. Yeah, I agree. Kai said, seizure September 11th. Dealey said, I remember just seeing all the tools in the shed. That's a whole truckload right there. Kai said, I bought a decorative tractor and a unique Sears tractor and 0 turn, a generator and 4 engines. Well done. J1 said, my milk doesn't expire for another 10 days, yet it has lumps in it. It doesn't smell. What should I do? Oh. I don't know, J1. Maybe it's not the one with the cream on top, is it? Because if it's that, it has lumps in it, okay? Read the bottle. Does it have, is it just homogenised and not pasteurised, or pasteurised and not homogenised? One of the two. It only goes through one. Because my mum asked that the other day. I gave her my milk with cream in it, and she said, is that off? And I said, no, it's just creamy milk. And she didn't like it. She thought it was off. Kai said in the tools, plus all of it, and you could smell milk when it's going off bad. Humpty Bumptua said, cottage cheese, maybe? Kai said, much love, Humpty, and many blessings, bro. Deb said, except Hillary is above the law. J1 said, should I risk it? Humpty Bumptua said, butter. Isn't that out of cream? You make butter out of cream? Hey, Lady Stardust, how you going? Dealey said, yes, indeed, Kai, you got loads of tools. Lucette said, J1, it's gone off, don't drink. Lady Stardust said, hasn't Charles removed titles from Prince Andrew's entire family? I believe so, I'm not sure. Cassandra said that's what 107 says, UK 3-letter at root of much DS corruption. Yeah, see, it's not just the CIA, it's MI, whoever, okay? It's probably, there's an Australian part of that as well. J1 said a sneaky XRP spot EFT got approved today. Ooh, interesting. Kai said, lady, I believe he did. Deb said, it's looking like it, Lady Stardust. I was wondering, is the royal connection that's holding up Epstein? J1 said, released by Canary Capital. Lucette said, Cassandra 107 seems to be the blame the UK for everything. Deb said, Andrew still thinks he's so far above everyone. I think people will find that Andrew was an arms dealer. You watch. Okay? Something from the board that I remember. I believe he may be an arms dealer. Cassandra said, makes sense, Deb, plus so much would dismantle with Epstein truths outed. DJT just doesn't want to crush us all too badly. Deb said, next, the fake American royalty. J1 said, Sol, H-Bar and LTC all went live today. Kai said, it was pointed out to me earlier today that after the greats like Egypt, Rome and such, most civilisations only lasted 250 to 350 years, maybe 400. Kai said, I'm thinking the entire system is about to change extremely drastically. I do believe so. I believe we are going back a little bit to more traditional times. That's what I think, but that's just me again. That's just my opinion. Kai said, intentionally. J1 said, a lot of switches being flicked all at once. Kai said, exactly at best distraction, easiest way to make population beg for solution. Yeah, Deb, green energy, biggest scam out there. J1 said, what about my carbon fibre Lambo? Kai said, Deb, yeah, but chosen for what exactly? who's really behind going green? Kai said, if the AI thing goes south, it goes 5 minutes click. Kai said, and it's already in every operation system there is. Kai said, I'm betting as soon as we make AI bots that build and upgrade themselves, we're toast. Then the upper class clicks and turns off the AI again. AI running the show, said Humpty. Division and distraction, war, depopulation. Prepare yourself spiritually or not. Yeah, Kai said, reset complete. Humpty knows what's up. Charlie said, Walmart has contract with the government to be the food distribution centre in the event of natural disaster or civil unrest. Now, that's some disturbing information. Mac J, how you going? Good to see you. J1 said, we will be matrix battery banks feeding the data centres. Yeah, I don't believe it's going to get to that, though. Cassandra said, great way to weaken people. Government supplied food without protein and decent veg, fruit. Yep, exactly. That's what I think. Kai said, we will be bones and ash. Cassandra said, listening and film editing. Good on you. Humpty said, just what I see going on. Yep. Kai said, supposedly trucking lines purposely infected with illegal drivers just for this. Kai said, hard not to see after you see it. Lucette said, Ma'am, Dami's father is talking out of his backside. Reservations were not the same as concentration camps. Yeah. Humpty said, government cheese, good though, lol. Deb said, now America has the Nazi got into government. J1 said, Obama puts kids in cages. Yep. Deb said, with or without a gina. Kai said, hopefully it's sure that just doesn't go down well together, does it now? Okay, let's just keep going. Kai said, I've heard some hideous shit lately. Out to lunch said, seen where a semi-crash further south with monkeys and a few diseases. Great. They tried that months ago out to lunch. Humpty said, lol, have. Deb said, mentally ill at his best. Lucette said, Bridget Macron might have been born intersex. If she has sex organs of both sexes, would be considered a woman. If so, Candace Owen might not win her court case. Yeah, Humpty, the Aussie giggle. Deb said, so you can be a man all day and become a woman at night? Who knows? Look, you know, we have had theories, and Candace wasn't the first person who thought that Bridget Macron was a man. She just went off on some tangent with it, you know, like full on. I don't know. But anyway, we'll find out. But also, just know that Candace Owens is all for the Muslims, okay? So I hope you know that. I hope you know why she never mentions Christians getting killed in the Muslim countries and stuff like that, you know. And then she called everyone who doesn't agree with her or goes against her, like she wants to call war on those people. And she also says they're all cursed. Okay, anyone who doesn't follow Candace or what she says and believe it 100%, all cursed. Yep, that sounds like controlled opposition to me. Deb said, Kai made the naughty corner. Conchega said, watched a video from Russia. RE gas prices, they paid $2 for a month and that was, in their opinion, higher than normal. Running a gas stove 16 hours a day. Wow. Lucette said, Kai, your comments are all being reviewed, lol. Kai said, October 29th, we most likely get to catch a couple of asteroids dragged in by AI-1. That's if you believe in space. I don't know. I think it's a distraction. Either that or that's the big event coming up in December. I don't know. Humpty said, a whole world upside down. You know, the big event that's supposed to happen? The big flash event? I don't know. Deb said, have many sign on hand for the next protest when you get what you want. Kai said, I've survived more seizures all crammed in together than I can count. Oh, poor thing. Cassandra said, love her. That lady. Oh, she was good. Kai said, but sonic weapons don't exist though, nor does the 20 and back programs. Deb said, this is just our educated opinions, all entertainment purposes only. Yes. Anne, how you going? I found you again. Bless you. Followed you years ago and all of a sudden you were gone. And I missed you. And there you are again. Happy. Good to see you. Is it Aneki? Or Anne? Can I call you Anne? Yeah, great to see you though. Good to see all of you guys that I haven't seen for years. Kai said, even here there's at least one C-10 flyover every day, not tooth rattling close, but visible on purpose. And Deb said, how else would this evil be allowed? Deb said, do I complain if you don't want to make your mark? Kai said, I'm led to thinking that T is trying to prevent it for his progeny rather than us. No, I think I still have faith in Mr. T, Donald Trump. President Trump. Deb said, his Pepsi with baby parts as flavour enhancer. Lucette said, perhaps the new Gavin Newton is actually telling the truth about his poor childhood because he's not the real Gavin Newsom. I don't know. Yep, it's all a show, Kai. Yep. Deb said, play Albo falling off the stage. I'll have to look it up, actually, Deb. Kai said, it changes in response to our reaction. Deb said, boobs out, bums out. No, not if you're trying to slide out of a car. You've got to try and contort yourself a little bit, to be tiny. If you're able to. I know, I've had to do it a couple of times in the last few days. I swear they've made those lines closer together. They really have. Humpty said, sure he did. Kai said, but it does seem to be changing towards a unified world government. I don't think, they're not going to win, I'm telling you. I don't think they will. Lucette said, Conchaga, maybe these imposters are trying to out themselves and go looking for sympathy. They made me do it. Yeah, buttermilk can have lumps. Okay, where am I? Wow. Holy cow, how far back was I? Oh, somewhere here? Okay, here we are. Deb said, we're all too old. Kai said, moisturiser. Anne said, yeah, you are. Kai said, I'm still claiming 50-ish. Deb said, we don't have a moist Adelaide, but it's been very moist in Adelaide. Oh, it's very moist here right now. Conchega said, Lucette could be. Let the hemp rope decide. Cool, let me know that I can be heard all right. Deb said, my Foxfire will not let me donate, so I'm trying to fix. Oh, God love you, Deb. Lucette said, Conchega, no sympathy from me. Cassandra said, Adelaide is a town in Australia, Kai? Yes, it is. Kai said, how long would it take to pass through a comet tail? I don't know. Deb said, that is bullshit. Australia card, basic card is very strict. Cassandra said, whoops, city then. Deb said, even thumbs down will still help traffic on Hev's page. Yeah, I'd prefer a thumbs up, but Conchega said, Cassandra, capital city of the state of South Australia Corporation. Kai said, please fill in the like button. Deb said, e-safety Karen in chat. Conchega said, Hamas is still run. You think it's run by Mossad? Yeah, I have changed a little bit on that. I don't think it is. But anyway, that's just my opinion. Everyone is very free to have their own. Humpty said, Kai, everyone have a blessed night or day. Prayers and blessings, love, respect. From Hopi Reservation, time to feed dogs, get firewood. God love you. Kai said, much love, many blessings. Conchega said, yep, love, respect to the Hopi as well, definitely. Deb said, car park matching the tiny houses they built. Probably, yeah. Kai said, I'm hanging out to the end. Lucette said, love you, Hev. Deb said, just like Pinky in the Brain cartoon, take over the world. Kai said, I picked up a dog with ice blue eyes. Oh, really? Conchega said, there was always 7 meals on the table. Trouble was there were 10 of us, so you learnt to run and fend. Kai said, what if traffic roundabouts are targets for rods? I don't know. Conchega said, hot tip, Australia's Norfolk Island, look it up, 1901 Interpretations Act. Deb said, curds and whey. My mum drinks buttermilk, ooh. Kai said, I asked if I had protection for the breakdown. I said the attacker will bring it with them. Yeah, buttermilk can have lumps. Buttermilk might be hideous, but it's really nice in recipes. Deb said, yes, if you're heavy-handed, making whipped cream will butter. Kai said, whoever tried that the very first time was desperate. Deb said, the royalty is very corrupt. D. Lee said, hey, Kai, they got roundabouts here on country roads, full circles of black rubber. Kai said, what is it? Desperate like the mud pies ran out? Lucette said, heavy, yes, Prince Andrew was an arms dealer amongst other things. His dad, Prince Philip, took him to a prostitute when he was only 11. He created a monster. There you go. Desperate, okay. Kai said, buttermilk had to originally come from an almost rotted cow or an infected one. No, it doesn't. It comes from making butter. You end up with a liquid on top, which is buttermilk. Lucette said, Prince Andrew is rotten to the core mostly because he's born a royal and spoiled from birth. Deb said, the elite have a very sick way of bringing up their children. I've heard about that, yeah. Kai said, I heard Andy whipped a horse to death for missing a jump. Oh, no. Deb said, moneypox have not taken the first time they crashed the truck full of diseased monkey. Yeah, this is not the first time. They keep saying this over and over again. They want you scared. Anything that will scare you. So things that might scare you, think twice about. Lucette said, Prince Andrew and all the male royals are psychopaths. Maybe Prince Edward's okay. Kai said, AI 3 or whatever. Bit stoned at the moment. God love you. Conchega said, ciao, peeps. Stuff to do. It was great catching everyone early. You too, Conchega. Always good. Deb said, yes, the alien invasion's coming, yeah. Yeah, just remember Project Bluebeam. Kai said, he pities the fool. Deb said, beach where you hung it all out. Sherry said, we had monkeys escape a couple of years ago when the COVID first started. They always use the same playbook. Yeah, they do over and over again by the look of it. Anne said, I think you were shadow banned and I was sick and tired of censorship on YouTube then and Twitter where I lost my account, but they didn't succeed. We've won here again after 4 years on YouTube. Definitely. Yeah, I got kicked off. They deleted my chat. They told me they deleted it. I couldn't find it anymore. Had to make, I had another channel that I'd already made before I lost this one. So I jumped on that one and they deleted that one, which I'd already made another one since then. And then I just kept going. Yeah, so that's where I've been. And Rumble. Kai said, and AI is running the show now, I think. Changes entire videos sometimes. Apparently, allegedly, they might be doing that. Kai said, lasagna's ready, might not hang till the end. Munchies are hitting. Yeah, I'm getting hungry too. Kai said, buttermilk is gross regardless where it came from. Yeah, Deb, not the real royal family. I believe that too. Kai said, got to crisp the top and it's done. Yum. Deb said, 10:12, I will have to wait for the evening to stoke it up. Sounds yummy, Kai, said D. Lee. And Deb said, yes, we've been channel jumping. Yes, we have. And with that, guys, I'm going to wrap it up for today. And hopefully I'll either come back with a video tomorrow or a live, one of the two. So, yeah, we'll see how we go. Hope you have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.